As a Human Rights Watch, actually, I greet my views with another liberal message. I actually want to make a few comments about the outcome of United States House of Representatives passing a reconciliation bill, the Senate version, in order for President to sign it immediately without taking the bill, introducing bill to the Senate. First of all, as a liberal Democrat and a liberal politologist, I must stand for the liberal causes, which actually primary cornerstone of my human rights advocacy and humanist ideology of a liberal views. Actually, I fully support healthcare legislation bill as it would provide coverage for 36 million uninsured Americans, according to Associated Press. I also believe that this healthcare bill will help American public fight terrorism, especially domestic international terrorism. As mentally healthy American public is less capable of committing terrorist acts, less capable of engaging in criminal conspiracy, commit organized crimes, or less capable of rioting and revolting, like it's been, let's say, was right-wing revolts during Texas riots in the 30s. I believe that, and what's right? I also believe that Republican opposition to the bill, is based on that Republicans are right-wing extremists and they are incapable of supporting the bill that provides healthcare to uninsured at the expense of government. We won't allow any government intrusion in the healthcare industry, if you ask them. But Republicans are lost. Lost in the dark quagmire of their own right-wing extremism, neo-fascism. And I believe that neo-fascist Republican congressmen like House Representative Ryan, especially tough about the denial of healthcare benefits to uninsured Americans. Actually, those guys are neo-fascists and they actually prostitutes of American imperialism. They sold out to wealthy people for money, for large contributions to their congressional campaigns, and they actually rip off American public by denying any constitutional limits on parliamentarian activities. Actually, they taking advantage of ripping off U.S. Treasury for about $170,000 a year, which make them incredibly rich. But those guys, they don't think that this November actually American public will actually get rid of Republicans and Democrats will win most of their congressional seats. I can predict it as a liberal politologist. Not only because it's wishful thinking on my part, but because right now it's Democrats control 60% of U.S. Congress, and most of the American public, like 50% supports healthcare reform. 45% only opposed to healthcare reform. But if Democrats improves job situation and unemployment rate slide down and maybe about 3%, Democrats have high chances of being re-elected this November, and President Obama will likely to become one of the most liberal presidents in American history. He will lead the nation to the heights that has never been seen before, and American public will see what's never been seen before, that human beings never saw before in their lifetimes. They will see alien planets, they will discover alien intelligence. If they agree to build a super telescope, video feed telescope with computerized magnification and astronomical telescopy. Right now, Republicans looks like they got it out at National Endowment for Arts and Sciences, so actually won't be able to contact to file an application for a project. But I believe I will loan money directly from Small Business Administration if it becomes if land directly from small business administration becomes a reality at the hands of democratic lawmakers. I believe that in that case I will be able to build a super telescope as my own project to discover alien intelligence. I also believe that as a liberal psychologist, actually I made such fundamental discoveries in such a legal definition of insanity. I believe legal definition of being criminally insane is when defendant commits involuntary act, when the defendant commits an act without forming any intention to commit an act. Now that sounds like that sounds like a little bit different from modern formula of being insane. Being insane for nowadays in American courts means that a person doesn't discern right from wrong. A person might discern right from wrong and still be criminally insane at the time of committing a crime. So that a person were not able to commit a voluntary act. The person committed involuntary act, and I believe that the person committing involuntary act is a definition of insanity. It is easy to establish using cross-examination. Cross-examination, state of mind of a person, defendant, let's say, would actually this definition, legal definition, new legal definition of insanity, opens way for actually exposing fraud and maligning of defendants during court proceedings. And I believe that if let's actually put it once again, legal definition of insanity is the following: insanity is committing involuntary act without forming any intention to commit it at the time of committing that criminal act. That's the legal definition of criminal insanity. But actually, while I've been an independent liberal psychologist, I actually done a few discoveries about homopathy and psychopathy as two specific forms of homopathy, that is being a specific form of psychopathy. Actually, homopathy is a hate disease. It's a specific form of psychopathy. It's based on racist and sexist and ageist biases, prejudice, and hatred. But actually, this hate disease and homopathy normally circulate through three homopathic syndromes: racism, sexism, and ageism. And I believe that sometimes it turns into self-loathing. And I believe also that homopathic individuals, they do mind physiological processes, and some of it's being compounded by depression. Homopathy normally gives bipolar disorders such as a generic psychopathy. And psychopathy is a mental disease based on that mentally person going and committing acts based acts of dementia based on pathological impulses of internal drive, a person's internal drive. And I believe that healthcare legislation may actually contribute for Americans being able to afford mental health care, because nowadays psychotherapists cost from at a range of $120 to $200 an hour. And healthcare insurance, we refuse to pay for psychotherapy, for psychoanalysis, psychotherapy, and this unregulated form of mental health care, like psychotherapy, is needed to be covered by healthcare reform. And I demand that United States Department of Health, provided mental health coverage for every American in order to fight terrorism, to fight mental disease, to fight crime. And whether it's very important that such healthcare reform has taken place, though by narrow margin passed by 7 votes in U.S. Congress. And I believe that 39 U.S. House Representatives, Democratic, who sided with Republicans, will lose their seat this November. Because I hope the American public will punish the traitors, for crossing paths and being obstacles, hindrances to healthcare reform.